Hello there, welcome back to my channel. This time it's a little bit different. About a year ago I did this. I'm going by the sales and the sets that are retired. I work out the cheapest month that sets sell, basically. So I look back at sales throughout the last year for all the sets. So I did it for 2024 and this time I've done it for 2025. So there was over 300 sets that retired in 2025. So I've looked back and to see which was the cheapest month for that. Now I've used the same parameters that I did for my last video when I did it for 2024. So basically the months, say for instance if you take January to December, if a set was the cheapest in, I don't know, say for instance February or something like that, say they put the set at £20 in February but it was also £20 in August and September, I've just done it the cheapest one for the first month. So the first time it went to that lowest price, not kind of counting every single time it went down to that price or whatever. So just basically the first time, so there. So like I say, it's over 300, so it's 300 times. Now obviously everybody expects the cheapest month to be November because of Black Friday. My last time I did it for 2024, it worked out that June was the actually cheapest month for the sales in 2024. So this time what I'm going to do is the same as what I did last time, which is go in reverse order and skip November, and I'll do November at last so that you can find out which it is. But before I do that, what I'm actually going to do is, I've noticed doing the research a few things, and I kind of made some notes for myself to kind of explain whilst I was doing the research. One thing I did notice is the sales, if there's like a theme that isn't doing very well, say for instance Friends, Dreams, that kind of thing, the prices of those coming up to the end of the year when it's about to retire do drop dramatically coming to the end of the year, and they don't tend to go back up again. So if it was something like that that you wanted to buy, you could leave that to the end of the year and it will be around the end of the year the cheapest, because people are just trying to shift it, that kind of thing. Another thing, obviously everybody knows that companies buy Lego from Lego, and they, depending on how many they buy, the quantities, they get sort of 30%, 40%, or some of them, I think Amazon, that kind of thing, get up to 50%, but the majority are around 40%. So obviously stores, they can reduce sets up to 30% and still make a profit, which is basically the kind of cut-off point that they go to. So most of the stores and websites and that kind of thing, people sell in, the furthest they'll go is 30%. So it's up to you then to find a way of getting it cheaper than 30%. So you're trying to aim to get 30%, but then also use your ways of getting it off, get more off. Like obviously you've got buying gift cards, where you can buy a £100 gift card for £95 or whatever it is, going to these websites and buying gift cards so you can get that much off. You got using gift with purchase, vouchers or voucher codes, signing up for emails. Say for instance if you go to Argos, sometimes you can get £6 off, I think, if you spend £60 or whatever it is. You got cash back if you get a credit card, that kind of thing. I know it's a big thing in America, not so much in the UK, but obviously if you get a credit card, pay it off straight away, don't thing. But basically anything else you can think of, like in America you've got Kohl's Cash, and there's also memberships where you get like 5% off and that kind of thing. So you need to basically wait for you can get 30% and then try and get added things on top of that. Obviously the holy grail for people, say for instance, I know a lot of collectors or investors and that kind of thing just purely wait until Black Friday and they buy all of their sets that they're going to do for the investment for that year in the Black Friday. And they've got a hit list of, say, the top 10 sets that they want to get, and they go, right, well I want to buy 20 Lion Knights Castle, 10 of the next set going down, sort of thing like that, and work their way down. But then when it gets to it, they go onto the Lego site and they try and buy 20 of those. They buy one, get one set, buy two, one, buy three, and the next thing it's sold out. So they've waited all year to get their hit list, and they want 20 of them. They managed to get 3 with their 2 gift with purchases or whatever it is, and then it's sold out. So then what do? They've got to go to the next one down, say the Jazz Club or that kind of thing, the boutique hotel. They do the same thing, put an order in, another order in, another order in, and then sold out. So they're not going to get the 10, so they didn't get the 20 of those, they didn't get the 10 of those, and they're working their way down. So now they're kind of working their way down their hit list until they get into the sets that they were kind of like not really that impressed with, but might do okay. So they've waited all year to be able to get this, and they're waiting until that one time to get it, and they're going to lose out because they can't get the numbers that they were hoping for. And obviously, like I was saying before, if you get somebody who, say for instance, they're going to get some sets that they were looking for on Black Friday, just for mathematical sake, £200 then. So a set with £200, and you're going to get 2 gift with purchases. But what they're going to have to look for is, say, a set that's got 40% off. So they're going to pay less then. So you got 40% off. Then you've got your double points, which is another 10%. So you got it 50%. Then you sell your 2 gift with purchases, which might get you, if you get 15 for one, 20 for the other, so that's £35 off. So that's, if you're getting £200, that's another 10%. So if you're lucky, you might be able to get, say, a £200 set for around £30-40, which is great. But the thing is, everybody else is getting exact same set, exact same price. And then also, do you want to buy a set that Lego's had to reduce down to 40% to sell it? I know most of the time Lego sets, we hope sort of 8 or 9 times out of 10, a Lego set will go back up to MSRP, which is what we hope, and then obviously surpass MSRP and make a profit, which is obviously what we want to do. So if we buy it at 30% or 40% or whatever, and it goes to MSRP, we're making a profit anyway, and then once it goes over that, we're making more, and that's what we all basically aim for. Another thing I noticed doing this research is if there's a set that's not going to come out for 1 year, it's going to be out for at least 2 years. Looking back at the sets, the sale prices, if you look at the very first Black Friday and the second Black Friday, obviously if it's out for 2 years, the price, sort of 7 or 8 times out of 10, the first Black Friday is lower than the second Black Friday, if you understand that. And you would think it'd be the same price, but it's not. So like I say, 7 or 8 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, the first Black Friday is a lot cheaper than the second one. Just something to keep in mind. Another thing to look at is themes that are good and good sellers, say for instance Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, that kind of thing. The moment the Black Friday is done, the prices go back up again. Even though it's about to retire in December, they still know that people are going to get FOMO, and then they're going to still sell it even if it goes back up again. So once Black Friday is done, that's the lowest point that it's going to be, and literally the next thing is going to go back up to, another 10%, another 20% back up again, even to back to MSRP. And like I say, the research I've done, 30% is more or less the maximum that they'll go to, unless it is a theme that is not selling, and then they will go. Right, so I've done it a little bit different from last year, whereas I've gone through the bigger themes and broken down how many sold in that particular theme in that month. So what I'll do is, if I go backwards, the 2 months that have got a joint months are February and March. They've got 12 times they were the cheapest month in the year. The second one is January, that had 14, where it was the cheapest month in the year. The third is also a joint, whereas June and July were 21 times they were the cheapest month of the year. The next month is April, which was 22 times it was the cheapest month of the year. The next month is May, where it's 27 times it was the cheapest month of the year. The next one is December, which is 29 times it was the cheapest of the year. Next one is August, where it was 30 times it was the cheapest of the year. The next one is October, where it was 33 times it was the cheapest month of the year. Then we've got October, was the 8th. Then the next one would be September, whereas 42 times it was the cheapest of the year. And like I say, I will put November last, and it works out that November was the 40 times it was the cheapest of the year. So actually September this time was the cheapest month of the year. So 42 times September was the cheapest month. And like I say, November, which everybody thinks is going to be, was 40. But a lot of times I noticed that it might be just literally 1 pence cheaper than other months. So Black Friday isn't always the cheapest. I know obviously with Lego, if you can get Lego sales, 30%, whatever it is, and then get your GWPs and that kind of thing. But like I say, if you're just buying it, then September is the cheapest month of the year. So I also went through the themes. So Star Wars, there was 6 in September, 4 in November, 3 in April, 3 in December, 2 in March and 2 in May. So like I say, 6 of those were September. Ideas was 2 in November, 2 in May, and then 1 other months. Marvel was 3 in February, 3 in March, 3 in June, 3 in September, 3 in October, 4 in November, and 2 in December. And Harry Potter was 3 in June, 3 in July, 3 in October, and 3 in November. Technic was 2 in January, 2 in March, 2 in April, 2 in May, 3 in July, 3 in November, and 2 in December. Icons, there was only really September, there was 2, and the rest of the months was just 1. Ninjago was 3 in April, 2 in May, 5 in June, 3 in September, 2 in November. Dreams was 3 in October, 2 in December, and the rest was just 1 month. DC was 2 in January, 1 in May, and the rest was 1 in months. I'm looking for the biggest months really. The other one's Creator, there was 4 in September, 2 in December, 2 in October, 2 in July. Then Speed Champions, there was 3 in December. Disney was 3 in May, 2 in June, 4 in October, 3 in November. City was 4 in January, 3 in March, 2 in April, 4 in May, 4 in June, 2 in July, 4 in August, 5 in October, 3 in November, and 3 in December. Friends was 4 in September, 4 in November, 2 in August, and 2 in January. Brickheads was 6 in August. So I don't know whether August is the best month to buy Brickheads or what, I don't know. November was 2. Minecraft was 2 in June, 2 in August, 2 in October, and 3 in November. And then the seasonal ones, obviously seasonal, they're going to be higher at Christmas and that kind of thing. There was 3 in April, 3 in May, 2 in August, and 5 in September, and 2 in December. So that kind of breaks it down in some of the themes, or the bigger themes anyway. So anyway, that's kind of a bit of a mix-up of trying to explain the cheapest months. I don't know whether you want to look back at my other video and see the one that I did for 2024, the ones that retired then, just to kind of compare, that kind of thing. So hope that helps you looking for things like that, because like I say, those people who are waiting for Black Friday to buy their sets, and they've found like they wanted to get lots of Lion Knight Castle and that kind of thing, and I've seen in other videos where people have got 3 and that's it. And then the other themes, I know the Motorized Lighthouse stayed out for sale for quite a long time, but a lot of the other ones like the Viking Village, all those sorts of things, the Boutique Hotel, the Jazz Club, they sold out, and people who wanted to get 10 of them, 20 of them, or whatever it is, they haven't had a chance. So what you need to try and do, I think, is if you see a deal and it's around 30% or better, or if you can get 30% and on your own back find a way of getting more off, then do it. I mean, I know that obviously people are holding, the money's sat there on the shelf and that kind of thing, but if you're going to save £50 or whatever it is, then you know, to me, I think if you can get it, then get it, you know. But anyway, I hope that helps you. My next video will be looking back at the sets that retired in 2024 to see whether we made a good investment or not. So please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.